What up, you beauties? Hope you're all keeping really well. And it's Beer Monster o'clock. And today I will be reviewing another real ale. As you may or may not know, I'm sort of trying to stick mostly to real ales this month. Just because I'm getting a bit sick of all the fake UK brewed lagers that are supposed to be brewed somewhere else and whatnot. And for this one, I have a bottle by the Robinson's Brewery, who are based up in Stockport, I believe. And it's called Unicorn Copper Ale. Quite an interesting name that. What the bloody hell has a unicorn got to do with a beer? I don't know. Let me know if you know in the comments the story behind that one, because that is pretty random. There's a picture of a unicorn on it there. Very random. But yeah, I suppose quite catchy. Probably the reason I ordered it, just because it's called Unicorn. Kind of random. I think it would be like a pink frilly looking bottle or something, wouldn't you? Called Unicorn. It's a 500ml bottle. It's 4.3% ABV, so it's not the strongest. It's more along the lines of a session sort of beer, I would say. I picked it up from Morrisons for £2, and it's also in the 4 for 3 deal, so it's not bad value, is it, if the beer's any good? As a little look at your bottle cap for you collectors out there. Gosh, got a unicorn on there, Unicorn Brewery. Yeah, I've never tried this before, so let's crack it open and I'll let you guys know what I think of it. If you have tried it before, guys, let me know whether you're a fan of it or not, or whether you think it's a load of old shit. Right, I have not put this one in the fridge today. I've just left it under my sink in the cupboard. It stays quite cool there, but you know, I just want to be able to pick some of the flavours up, because with some of these ales I've stuck them in the fridge and I've regretted it. So I don't want to make that mistake again. It's still slightly cool. It's not warm, but you know, you don't want to over chill your ales, I think. And there's been a few where I've sort of reviewed them and just thought, I wish I'd left that under the cupboard and not in the fridge. Here's a look at your beverage. I don't think this one's bottle conditioned, but I'm not sure. Oh, actually, it could be actually. I am seeing a little bit of sediment in there. Unless I just didn't wash the glass up properly, and it's a bit of old shit. I don't know. It's very slight. Low levels of carbonation as well. It's kind of a, I would say, a light amber in colour, or sort of like an orangey amber sort of colour. I don't think it mentions whether it's bottle conditioned. It doesn't say, so yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, unfortunately. You'd think they would say if it was, so let's just assume it isn't. There's your head. It's kind of a very slightly off white, quite compact head. Doesn't look too bad, all in all. Let's get the news in there and check out the aroma of this bloody unicorn beer. I wonder if it smells like a unicorn. What does a unicorn even smell like? Nobody knows today, because they ain't bloody real. Disappointingly light on the aroma with this one. There's like a touch of I think it's caramel or toffee malt. Perhaps a bit of both. Very slight sweetness, like a biscuity sweetness in there as well. That's what I'm really getting with this one, and that's a struggle as well. So yeah, doesn't smell like a lot. Not overly impressed by the aroma, but you know, it's a session beer. Perhaps that's why it ain't got much aroma, or perhaps it is indeed a load of shit. Let's chuck it down the neck and find out, shall we? Cheers, everybody. Bosh. I've got a Wheato on me little table. Hey kids. Very standard, very underwhelming first impression. The body is quite light. There's just an overall. It's slightly smooth, but there's just a. Like, when the first goes, there's just a general bit of a nothing beer, really. It's a bit light on flavour. It's a little bit bland on the first impression. as I say, I haven't had this one in the fridge either, thank God. It's not horrible or nothing. It's just I was expecting a bit more from the Robinson's Brewery. You know, they make Old Tom, don't they? That's a cracker, that one. This one, I don't know. I've been brewing this one since 1886, I think it was. So they've been brewing this beer for a long time, but I just don't really rate it. I've only had one go though. Let's go again. I mean, I know that's a session now, but I would get a bit bored sessioning this. It's just too bland. Flavour wise, there's a very slight, subtle caramel malt. You know, and there's some very subtle hops to it as well. It's just not really doing a lot. It's quite boring, I've got to say. Disappointing. I mean, the lacing, it's got a little bit of lacing on the glass and that. I don't know. Perhaps beers were a lot more boring 130 odd years ago. I don't know. So I'm getting further into the beer. There's more flavour coming out towards the end of the tasting, but it's not particularly my thing. It's not particularly nice. There's like an earthy kind of hop and a slight herbal sort of hop, and then there's this bitterness, sort of light to medium, maybe medium, but it's a little bit of an astringent bitterness. It's got like a slightly herbal kind of bitter aftertaste that for me is unpleasant. It's not particularly nice. I mean, it's not disgusting. It's just that there's very little taste to this beer apart from what's on the finish, and what's on the finish is just a bit astringent, like almost what you get with some of the horrible UK brewed lagers. I don't know if that's a water quality issue or what, but this one's just not doing it, I'm afraid. It's a shame because I've tried some really nice real ales this year. So I've obviously haven't done a few because we're early on to the year, but I've been quite lucky. I've had some good ones, and this one kind of stands out as perhaps being the worst one of the year so far. There's a slight dryness to that bitterness as well. Yeah, I just can't recommend it. Very, very bland, very low on flavour, as I say, and the only real standout feature I don't particularly like. And it's just got that horrible water quality thing and a nasty sort of, I mean, I like bitterness. It's not the fact that it's bitter, it's just the taste of the bitterness. It's kind of slightly lingery, astringent bitterness, and just it's a bit of a nothing beer for me, unfortunately. So yeah, I would say this one is not worth a buy. Perhaps it tastes or better on cask, I don't know. I would think so, but I can only review what's in front of me, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. You know, it's not the worst beer in the world. It's just so average, with no standout features, that I'm afraid I cannot give it any higher than a 5. But you know, that's just my opinion. We're all different. Let me know if you love this beer. Perhaps you love it and you think I'm talking a load of bollocks. But at the end of the day, we've all got different taste buds, haven't we? And this one just isn't for me. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Smash the like button if you enjoyed this review, and consider subscribing to the channel, especially if you love beer, because that's what it's all about, you know what I mean? Until next one, guys. Bye bye, darlings. Peace.